Everybody, welcome back. Sunday dinner, chef. Today we're going to be cooking a traditional Sunday dinner, an eye round. This is a nice beef roast, about 4.5 pounds, pretty traditionally done in my house growing up. And I'm going to show you how I prepare it. All right, we're going to make this dinner with baked potatoes. Now there's only 2 of us, so 2 potatoes will be fine. And also we're going to be doing some green beans. Now I'm going to French cut these green beans. It just means split them and then saute them. They are a little tough, so I'm going to cut them up to make them a little bit more tender. Now, one of my safety rules that I've always had, take stuff out of a Cryovac, wash it off. You don't know, never know what kind of bacteria is growing on it. So I washed it, now I'm patting it dry, and now I'm going to start taking some of that silver skin off. And I have a little trick that I'm going to show you before I put it into the oven. Silver skin is a membrane that surrounds a muscle, okay, that actually holds it together. So if you leave it on and just cook it that way, it is going to actually compress and actually push the juices out of the meat. So you want to take that off. Okay, with your finger, you can feel around and feel exactly where the fat meets the meat, you know. And what I do is I take my knife, my boning knife, and I'll go in there and I'll separate the fat cap from the meat itself. But I will leave it on. Now, the reason my madness behind this is I'm going to season that meat underneath there, but I don't want to get rid of the juices coming from that fat. That is the provider of taste for this particular cut of meat. Now, I used to do this in a restaurant with any kind of top round, anything that had a big, heavy fat cap on it. It's the same procedure also with prime rib. Now you want the flavor to come out, so I'm seasoning it really well with my Tommy Spice, again, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion. So seasoning a cut of meat like this is important because it brings out the flavor, brings out the beefiness of it. Now, I have garlic confit that I had made, and this is some of the oil that's left of it. Has a great garlic flavor. So I'm going to dabble a little bit on here and re-season it again, and then I'm going to put the fat cap back on and seal the fat cap. How am I going to seal it? I'm going to be using this probe to hold it together from AR Meter. It's going to be doing double work. It'll hold the fat together and also take the internal temperature. Now, onion on the bottom of the pan. I quartered them, put them in place. Meat will sit on top of them. We'll get a lot of juice out of them, make nice gravy. 2 small russet potatoes. I poked them with a fork and also put a little bit of olive oil on them. And now I have Tommy Spice in the bowl, and I'm flipping them around a little bit here to get everything evenly coated. They will get wrapped in tin foil very tightly. And this actually helps it cook from the internal out and also makes the skin a little bit more crispier. String beans. They're kind of tough the way they are right now because they're fresh, probably a little older. So we're going to split them in half. That's French cut them. And that's how we're going to saute them up. At this point, if you could, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment. I really would appreciate it. Don't forget to ring that bell so you can get notified. So we're going to cut these string beans up. These are going to get sauteed up with some garlic, butter, olive oil, my traditional way, but I'm going to add a little hoisin sauce to it. The aroma is filling the whole place. I mean, it smells so good. Just look at this. Now, as you can see on top there, that meter is still stuck in through that fat, and it's pretty much holding it together. So, a couple more minutes, I guess it's going to be. I'm looking for 135. Whoa, what the hell is it? That's the midnight train to Georgia, for crying out loud. That's the new meter telling me that the meat is done. As I pull myself from the ceiling, just look at this meat here. I mean, the beef is really good. The aromas are fantastic. I'm gonna let this rest now. I know going into a restaurant, you go for your main course, a steak, whatever you're gonna have, okay? But sometimes you come across a vegetable and say, wow, how the heck did they do that? Well, my trinity, everybody has their own way of doing things. My trinity is garlic, olive oil, and butter. It doesn't get any better than that. Now, I can add in different little additives here and there. I am going to be using hoisin sauce. Now, the amount of hoisin sauce that I'm going to use is probably maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon, okay? And I'm just going to spin around. It's going to make almost like a gravy type of sauce with the butter. You have got to try this. There again, play with your food. Look at this beautiful cut of meat. Unbelievable. Eye round, looks delicious. The aromas would drive you crazy. But letting it rest has a lot of reasoning behind it. If you were to cut it just fresh out of the oven, all the juice would run out of the meat and it would absolutely be dry. I mean, very tough. So letting it rest, all the juices start to solidify a little bit more. And if you let it sit basically like 20 minutes, okay, and you start slicing it there, it is going to be very moist, very tender. This can be, if it's not done right, it can be a very tough cut of meat. So once we get it sliced up, just look at this. I mean, the slices were really, really nice. Great cut. Let's make gravy. We are now going to start making this. We're going to put it all together. Taking the onions into a little blender with some au jus. Going to blend it up. That's going to be added into the gravy. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put together some butter and flour. Okay, mix that all together. I'm not making a roux. I'm not using that much flour, so you wouldn't get that floury taste. Also, but the au jus that's gonna finish out with the onions, because I'm gonna blend it up gradually. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn up the heat on the burners, and we're starting to get that fond off the bottom of the pan. That's where the flavor is. Getting started with this here, I'm going to take the oil off, actually the fat, pour it into another container, and just leave the fond on the bottom. Now, that au jus that I just put in with the onions, okay, that is from another cook that we saved. We put it in the refrigerator, get the fat, raises to the top, take that off, and then I strain it. Get all the residuals out of there, and I have just beautiful, delicious au jus that we can use for each and every time. Now, putting in a little bit of butter, that's got the flour in it, and adding in the onion and au jus a little at a time, and just start cooking this and building up this beautiful flavor. We will be taking this and I'll strain it using a little sieve into another pot to get all the remnants out of it and make it silky, silky smooth. There it is, Sunday dinner. Look at that gravy, silky smooth. What a phenomenal taste. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to add some parsley. Always eat with your eyes. So you want to make the plate as appetizing as possible. You can actually taste it just with your eyes. You have an idea what it's going to taste like. So I'm going to just dress it up here a little bit and get a little closer look at this. I cannot wait. I am so glad I could cook you Sunday dinner today. Thanks for stopping by. I am the Sunday Dinner Chef. My name is Tom. Hit that like and subscribe button, and guess what? We will see you next Sunday. Thank you, everybody. Please stay safe.